Good morning, everybody. Not paint water. Hope you're doing okay today. We're getting ready for the brush hour. I'm enjoying our little morning sessions here on Tuesdays, trying to make that a regular thing. I try not to tell people I'm going to commit to a certain time frame because I don't know. Maybe it's the artist in me, but then I feel boxed in. It's like, "Oh, I have to." But if I just kind of tell myself and I just do it, but I don't announce it, I don't know. I seem to work better this way for some stupid reason. God only knows how my mind functions, but, I see Nomi over there on Kick lurking while doing work. Thank you for the lurk. This way you can raise points for yourself so that you can redeem them, Nomi. And then over here on the YouTube side, I know it's still morning and I know people are working or watching other shows, but Maria says, "First, do I get the crown?" Always. Although YouTube is the one that decides whether or not you do get the crown. Mad Dog Conroy says, "Make a milkshake and oh my word, the brain freeze." Not sure how that applies here today, but I hope you're okay. Retro Collective says, "Good morning, everyone." And yes, thank you so much. He put the link to my gaming channel here on YouTube in the link. I do my gaming on Kick, and I also do my gaming over on YouTube now. By the way, I don't have it going through here. I just found some chill music that some other person on YouTube um, has for their channel. And, I don't know if you can hear it or not, or if it's like a weird sound because it is kind of a lo-fi thing, which normally I'm not really into lo-fi, but I just found this really cute channel. It's called Otter Space Lo-Fi, and it kinda has these fun, um, chill videos of an otter that's been digitally designed, and his name is Waffles. His name is Waffles. And so today Waffles is, at a cafe, and sometimes Waffles is at the beach. So I just have that on in the background. I didn't feel like wearing headphones today, so forgive me. But Retro says, "Is he also be lurking?" Excellent. So when last we left our heroes, we were working on the outline, and I've come a long way. I can't wait to give you the final reveal, but I got my character taken care of, and then there's Joe sweating over here. There's Joe having more problems, and then there's Joe in her final form, and, so that's what we had last time we worked. Hey, I Canalist, good morning to you. So let's just, go back to the basics and just do a grand reveal, and this is what we have today. I'm so excited. Doesn't this look so cool? Doesn't it look fun? It's almost finished. It's not completely finished, but oh, and I'm supposed to hang on, I gotta get rid of well, shoot, that was supposed to be like this really cool oh, I think that's it. There it is. No more blue outline. So there's that's cool. What did I do? Oh well. So there's my character with the sun cosmic thing in the background and getting ready to push the button down. I'm gonna be adding the word bubbles over in this area. Um, I don't know what I did. Oh, look at that. Like everywhere I push, there's a layer button. Okay. But and then I've got Joe. I finished her sweating over here in this little picture. I've learned a lot, and I'll explain in just a second. So we've got Joe over here panicking and sweating, and then we've got Joe over here. She's not done yet. I'm not happy with her face because the way I've decided to shade it, in my opinion, she just kinda looks like she has a skin condition. What is that, vitiligo or something like that? And it's not working for me, and then I just have to put some more details, like coloring on her suit and on the push button, make it really pop, and then over here, I think pretty much is finished is Joe's Skelly. So this is what we have. What do you think? I may get this printed out as a poster, um, and then the words are gonna go in there as well. Risky Butter Biscuit says, "Good morning, dreamers. Good morning. Welcome to the dream stream, rush hour dream stream." Mando Unchained, how are you, sir? This is such a nice, relaxing contrast to watching the riots. Amen to that. I was up watching them last night, and I just It's the summer of love 2.0. Juliet, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Um, yeah, so I've got some projects in the work that are not Chibi related. I will be having a store. I'm having a store switch. I'm going from my Etsy to um, another company goes and then works through YouTube to keep things simple. And I'm working on some new designs that will hopefully be that will be released this summer. And it's gonna be really cool. But yeah, look for that. But anyway, with this, I'm really happy with the coloring. I think it's fun, it's whimsical. And I see areas where I could work on things, but overall, really, really happy with how it's going on. And what I was saying earlier when I was looking at Joe's face right here was that I wish that with the design of my character here in the back, I'm learning that you should always just finish the entire picture instead of going, because what I did was I kind of cut like basically the picture around. If I would delete this section here, which maybe I should just get a new layer. That's what it is. So I can point things out with my little pointer stick here. So this section here, if I were to get rid of that, there would be a blank spot behind it. And so I don't have wiggle room. Like it would take a lot of work um, to move Joe's eyes over a little bit, which maybe I should have done, but it is what it is. Or maybe I should have made them a little bigger. I'm learning. But yeah, so always finish your pictures and then layer everything else on top of it because all the colors, well, I mean, there's a way to do it, but like I said, it would be a lot of work. All the colors are on one layer. So, um, yeah, so there's that. Anyway, I also kind of wonder if I need to change Joe's skin color. They're literally the same color in each spot here, but for some reason, this doesn't look quite as dark as this to me. And I wonder if it's because of her hair. I don't know. But we're gonna figure it out during the brush hour. So let me get to the right layer. Hope everybody's doing all right. So here, like I said, my color layer, except for like the eyes and stuff like that. But yeah, all my colors for the characters are a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of it. I think I did a great job. I learned a little trick about like fuzzifying the background. So all right. Oh, okay. So I did put Joe's shadows. Maybe that's what I should do. So I'm going to color Joe's face one color. By the way, if you don't know what this is all in reference to, if you're kind of new around these her parts, Joe and I have been playing split fiction, typically on Mondays, or excuse me, Sunday evenings, and it's been absolutely hilarious. Um, and so part of the story is that there's this cosmic sun in one of the levels, and it releases these bursts, and you have to put the shields up. And there was this moment where Joe didn't quite know what to do. Oh, that kind of looks neat. But again, she was shaking it off. It was really funny. It was so of course that like I've said before with doing these little comic strip things, I've learned a lot about placement, story creation, where you have to simplify a moment. Um, you know, this some of the stuff, kind of like what I did with the escape the backrooms picture that I did with Moss, Sevi, and Nomi and myself. Some of that was, obviously exaggerated, but not just exaggerated, but it kind of had to be switched around. Like I said before, in that picture, Nomi wasn't actually with Sevi and I in the room when that happened, but it wouldn't have made sense for that little story of the comic strip for Nomi to be elsewhere. It just works better that way. So here we go. Well, obviously, I need to fill this in with white. So you know what? One here, not white, but just blue. Let's just go ahead and do this. I think I've been having an overload too of tips and tricks for artwork. Like I'm gonna take a lot of time specifically today to um it sounds muffled like you're talking through a tin can. Uh-oh, that's not good. Does that work better? I wonder if it's the music that's making it weird. Is that better, Risk It? I kinda turned the music off. I was wondering if it was, like, picking up other sounds. Is that better? Thank you for pointing that out. Much better. I wonder if it was the settings. Hang on, let me turn my little music. I just have a little sound in the background. It shouldn't be picking up that much. Let's just see if that works better. I wonder if the settings kinda switched. I've been changing a couple of things with my setup, so maybe that's what it was. Um, or maybe I just wasn't talking directly into the mic the way that I should be. Um, good morning, good morning. Gonna be lurking. That's fine. Also, if you suddenly hear weird noises, I think my neighbor has just decided to mow his yard. So, the Majani, good morning. How are you? How is life for you? Did you sleep okay? Did you get your rest that you needed? Are you doing okay, sir? I hope so. Um, much better now. Good, good, good. Chaz, hello there. Look at that picture. That's such a cool picture. What is that from? That avatar. Oh no, did I mess up? I totally messed up. See, this is when did I do that? It's right there. I have to color all that back in. You know what? Let's just man. So I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know. Somehow I'm gonna have to figure that out. My goodness, they are going to town outside. Um, could be the audio enhancement setting. It is always something if it's not one thing. Demajani for $2 says, Sup T? I hope you're doing well. I am. I am. I'm super grateful today for people that are willing to watch me figure out my tech problems while people are mowing their yard in the background. In fact, it sounds like he's mowing gravel. It doesn't sound like he's doing a good job. Or she, you know, I don't know. I can't see them. But it's from a French graphic novel series called The Meta Barons. Sounds really cool. Actually, I was going to bring it up. You know, they say give people, let me pause this for a second. Give people their flowers while they're around to enjoy them. And I had this show up on my Twitter page, my X page the other day. And whoops, not that one. I would like to share this. Okay, some of you might not know, as I did not know, who drew. I'm gonna have to put these on. This guy out here is distracting me. It literally sounds like he's destroying the gravel outside. Let me bring this up right here. If you don't know who Drew Struzman is, oh my gosh. And I just want to play this really quickly. Sound is up. Let's see if it works.
It's not an intellectual thing, art. It's an emotional thing. That's how art connects with people. It's its own language, but it speaks to the heart rather than to the mind particularly. It's just something I have to carry in my heart. I'm glad that I did some good in the world. If you had to get principled about it, that's why I paint. To add a little more beauty, a little more good, a little more love to the world. And it'd be nice if we all had that opportunity and that motivation. And so I'm glad that I was able to do something that's peaceful and productive and kind to people. I couldn't think of anything better to do. And I've tried other things, and that's the most successful. So I guess that's what I was meant to do.
Oh, I've messed up my settings. That's what it was. Here we go. Drew Struzman. So yeah, if you don't know who that is, he is the man that is responsible for pretty much, let me bring this screen up here. Is it this one? Where's it at? Here it is. I know it's kind of small, but there we go, full screen. If you don't know who he is, he's pretty much the man that is responsible for like almost every iconic film poster that you can think of throughout cinema from like the 80s till the early 2000s. And you can see he did like the Beast, is it Beastmaster? What is that movie? Hang on. Let's see. Uh, what is this one here? Um, and then you've got Blade Runner, you've got The Muppets, he did Harry Potter, Back to the Future, Hellboy, he did Hook, Star Wars, he did all the Star Wars ones. What is this? Big Trouble in Little China or Escape from New York or something like that. And anyway, one reason that I wanted to just acknowledge this guy was because recently it was shared that he this amazing artist has like crippling Alzheimer's. He unfortunately his wife released a statement recently saying that he unfortunately is not enjoying his retirement years because he's struggling so badly with Alzheimer's. And I remember growing up and seeing his amazing artwork, and it's just this is what's so important about artwork and so amazing about artwork is how it impacts people so much. Um, I remember being a kid, and maybe it's because, I was destined to be an artist or something like that, but I remember being a kid and seeing those movie posters and being moved by them. Surely the rest of you as well have been moved by Drew Struzman. I'm glad to have a name behind it. As a kid, you didn't really pay attention to that stuff. I'm glad to have a name behind these masterpieces now. And, he can't go to conventions or anything anymore. He can't sign anything anymore. It's not within his capacity, and what a shame. What an amazing, amazing artist, and all those were painted, and it's just kinda going to remind me, like, as I'm doing digital artwork right now, which there's no shame in that, but nevertheless, it's like, wow, there's just something about tangible medium. There's just something about painting, like, actually painting something. There's just something about drawing your masterpieces that it just can never truly be. Oh, I can color behind this? No, I was gonna say. Or we'll take care of the water drop later. The sweat. So anyway, I just wanted to give Drew Struzman from this artist in this tiny corner of the internet, I wanted to give Drew Mr. Struzman his flowers now and say thank you, sir. Thank you so much for creating iconic art pieces that so many of us have on our walls or can easily recognize. And, yeah, it's just truly beautiful. No, there was an article, let me see here, that says, "As both an artist and a lover of cinema, there is no describing the heartbreak I feel over the lost art of movie posters. We no longer have that human hand-painted touch. It has been replaced by sterile computer graphics and cheap Photoshop tricks. For years, one maid gifted us all with art that not only went above and beyond the average movie poster, but acted as a window to the other worlds. It is an understatement to say he is one of the best because he is, in fact, the greatest movie poster artist who ever lived." You can quote me on that. His skill is second to none, and he has worked on posters such as franchises like Back to the Future, Star Wars, and Indiana Jones. Even the atrocious Star Wars prequels and the recent pointless Indiana Jones sequel had a fantastic movie poster thanks to the one and only Drew Struzman. We got to interview Drew as he shares his experience, his insight in movie posters today, and I think that would probably go into the part that we'd seen. Um, I'm just trying to see, what does he say here? He says that, "So at a point, I realized people were actually looking for me to quit, and I started working for the movie industry, and that's how I did it. It wasn't an intent, it was just a way to paint and feed the family." Oh my gosh. And he said that Star Wars was his big break. Um, that's amazing. You just never know. But yeah, Drew Struzman. Um, hey, Maria, do you still have the crown? Do you still have the crown? But here we go. Let's keep painting Joe here. By the way, Maria, I talked to Nomi and we were talking about murky divers last night. Obviously some of us have schedule conflicts and whatnot, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. She was saying that Moss enjoyed it too. So we've got a couple of people who are like, "Hey, when are we gonna play Murky Divers again?" I am still gonna see if I can get the capable gentleman to join us. He said he would. He said he would. And being a gentleman, he's got to be a man of his word. I'll hold him to it. Here we go. Do, 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 do. How are you, Maria? That's the real question. I'm great, living large, planning things out, planning things out. I think I've overstimulated. What did you miss? Did you miss that part about murky divers, Maria? Oh my gosh, do I have to repeat myself? You're just gonna have to go back and watch the whole stream again. All right, so let's see if we can figure out Joe's shadows during the brush hour. Oops. Mm-mm-mm. I also think that with, having watched those videos of Drew Struzman and then just seeing his amazing work, number one, it's like, never give up, never surrender, work hard. And then the other portion is, I really kind of like how this looks. I wonder if I should leave it or maybe clean this up. Let's just leave that part and see. Yeah, because the light source is coming from over, well, you can't see that, but the light source is coming from over the direction to her. Well, what we are seeing would be her right, but the light source of her eyes is coming from somewhere else. It could be from all over the place. Hey, staccato DDS, look at. I was gonna say, look at you, and I'm not sure why. I think because I was looking at Maria, which I don't know why my brain then would say, look at you. Um, we haven't played since, Maria, but we were just talking about how we need to do that again. Hey, Spider Unlimiteds, it's y'all chilling for a bit. Welcome and welcome in. Chaz was saying, I'm seeing so many posters from my childhood. Exactly, exactly. So it's like, build up that portfolio, learn things and pursue the passion, but be professional if you can and leave your mark. And just thinking about how he will probably never remember. Good morning, good morning. He will probably well, he will never remember, unfortunately, the work and the legacy that he left behind, but he left behind something so beautiful and wonderful for the rest of us to remember. Um, so that's something that I think about too. Like, I don't wanna focus too much on what legacy am I leaving behind, but it's more of like, "Oh, wow, could I ever create something that will be remembered from here on out?" Um, they got back to me yesterday saying that they haven't started the interview process, but they wanted to find a good time, possibly before my trip this Friday. Well, here's hoping, Maria. Prayers for Maria and the new job that she's trying to get that would free up some of her time so she could play more games with the rest of us. Staccato DDS, I hope you're doing well, sir. I love your let me look at that. I just totally missed that the avatar is what are those, Jedi wolfhounds? What are those? That's cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. Alright, so let us figure out Joe's Mountain Mutt, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all for, posting or, commenting on my recent video on YouTube. It's not doing well at all. It was like I went up on this kinda like this high, and then it just went right down, and, that's really frustrating, but it's part of what it is, learning what works, learning what doesn't, but, I appreciate everybody who watched and especially liked and commented. I appreciate that so much. I hope you guys enjoyed Mo and Eric and all of our shenanigans over there. Trying to perform the Bob Ross tutorial. I had that pre-recorded from February, so it's been in the archives waiting to be released, but I think that like, I had fun doing it, and I wouldn't say it's the last time I would do something like that, but it definitely like, I'm very late to the game with that trend. I just wanted to try it and see if it would be fun. I did that with Denki and Nadia, so if you haven't seen that video either, where we tried the Bob Ross tutorial with digital, media, it is hilarious. You'll enjoy it. Um but yeah, people were doing the whole Bob Ross trend thing like 3 years ago, um, so I'm very late to the game, but I just thought I would give it a try anyway, see what happens, but I think slowly my channel is having, like, an identity crisis. Like, it's all artwork, but it's not I don't know, I'm not sure. We're playing around, we're figuring things out. Doo. iCannalist, member message for 5 months. Joe looks like she could use a bit of sunscreen. Oh, she's a little more tan, yeah. Oh, over here? Yeah. Oh, this is better. This is better. Even though this is funny if you pay attention to it, I have little insider tip here. I have switched where the shadows go, but I think it just works better that way. I like it better that way. But it could be because the blast is coming. Let's just say that that's what the story is. The blast has not hit here, and it's coming right over here. So that's what we're saying. Gotta bounce. Have fun at work, Maria. She thought it was pure gold. Yeah, I showed it to my dad. He laughed his butt off. He thought it was pretty good. And that's saying something. My dad's not an art person. Alright, should I just leave that little bit of shadowing? That just doesn't seem like a lot. Let's just do something drastic here. I totally should have done this on a separate layer. What am I thinking? But let's just give it a try, and if I like it, if I don't, oof, yeah. And then I would have to, like, increase the size over here to kinda matchy-matchy. Doo, doo. I'm gonna definitely take some time to read today because I have been overwhelming my brain with information about artwork that I need a break. I was saying yesterday that I just recently got, the book Melania, her biography or whatever it is, and I'm really excited to read that. Um, so we'll take some time for that today. It's important. Might just sit outside, maybe with a cup of coffee or maybe some juice, try something different besides coffee. I don't think that benefited Joe at all. Yeah, I think this is good because it kinda tells the story of the impending doom that is about to strike Joe. I think that that's good. I just gotta clean up the hair. I will have to find out what this is, what layer this little blurb is on, but that's pretty good. Um Yeah. Well, so let's go into the outfit and the hair. That's exactly what it is. It's gonna be the impending doom because I've got these strong highlights for my character. Let's do it for Joe over here. Um, we'll get this yellowish color, but let's do this on a separate layer, shall we? What have we learned from our mistakes? By the way, this Friday evening, I'm having a mini art party, and, I would love to have audience participation in giving us, some prompts. So we're gonna have just a few, um, just a spontaneous pop-up art party, um, and, I'm not having a lot of guests on, so I just, would love to encourage you to come. I'm gonna set up that stream today. And, the prompt, we don't have that yet. No, I don't like that. Don't like that color. I wonder if I should make it a little more orange. Would make sense. So you guys, Friday at 7:30 PM Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be so funny if we're when we figure out what the prompt is. I mean, if you guys wanna throw something out right now, something that you would love to see. When I say the prompt, I mean, like, the theme. You could throw in some prompts too if you want to, like, give me what's a good theme that you would love to see us cover, and, we'll do so this Friday. Um, last Last time we did an art party, we did Greek mythology, we've done Scooby-Doo, we have done, um, Indiana Jones, we've done Egypt, we've done oh my gosh, we have done so many. So, yeah, please feel free if you've got something lurking in your brain and you're like, "It would be super cool to have this theme," let me know. I don't think anything is necessarily off the table. We would love to hear from you. That way I don't have to think. Here we go. Kinda looks like she's got cheese in her hair. I wonder if I should 2 black dogs fighting with a lightsaber. It's too many characters. There's gotta be just, like, a general theme, like, um, but you could say Star Wars. I think it could be Star Wars. That's not a bad idea, those together. Chrysanth, our favorite wallflower. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, so if you have an idea, a prompt, it could be split fiction if you wanted it to be. It could be Halo themed. If you wanted to go like that, uh, that route, could totally do that. It could be, I don't know, horrific animals. That, See, I'm not sure I like this color. I wonder what would happen if we changed it to the orange that's over here. Or mix it up maybe. I think oh, that looks good. So a blend of each. A blend of each. Got the yellow over there, then this. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a terrible idea, Staccato. Thank you for suggesting 2 black dogs fighting with lightsabers. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. It could be Harry Potter. We did Harry Potter. Oh, we could do it again. I wouldn't be against, but if you wanted to, we could do it. I don't like that. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't look right either. Nope. Is that all Joe's gonna get? Like, that doesn't seem like a lot. How is everyone today? I'm doing swimmingly. But how are you, Chrysanth? Keeping it real? Oh, underwater. Do you paint dark themes and imagery? We've done like Halloween kind of stuff. It doesn't get that graphic or anything, but yeah, underwater. Ooh. Do you paint dark? Yeah, give me some suggestion. Underwater, it could be pretty cool. We could mix it dark underwater things. Tired on summer hours, so doing 10-hour days, but the trade-off is that every other Friday I have a day off. That's wonderful. Good for you. You use a hard working lady and you need to rest the big beautiful mind that is Chrysanth. How else are you gonna save the world if you don't get some time off? Let's see what this looks like. It's kinda cool. It's a little much, but it's it's kinda cool. Let's make it a little bit that it looks really cool. Should I just leave it as an artistic flair? It looks really cool, but I think it's because her hair doesn't exactly make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about it, it's coming down, and that's almost like it's coming in. So it's like this part is yeah, that's what it is, and then this part curls in. So, okay. So, yeah, I basically need to indicate that this section is in front along with this section of hair. She looks like a wildcat. Here we go. Oh, oh. It's hard to believe it's June, everybody. I'm not a fan. Yeah, her hair is kinda incorrect here. But shh, don't tell anybody. I don't wanna have to redo Joe's hair if I don't have to. Let's just see if we can trick the eye. Let's just see if we can tricksies. Hmm. Yeah, no, it just looks like she has an electric beam coming out of her hair. Oh, happy birthday to mom. 53rd birthday on the 8th. That's wonderful. What we were talking about earlier, give people their flowers while they're around to accept them. Happy birthday to mom. Wonderful. This hair is giving me a fit. We might just leave it with that thing up top. Does that kind of convey the idea? You know what? No, it's going to stay with me the rest of my life. Oh my. I know. I know that I'm going to look at it, especially if I do decide to get this printed out. I'm going to look at it and be like, Tabitha, what were you thinking? And I'll say to myself, Tabitha, I just didn't want to do hair over again. And then I would respond with, "Tabitha, that's a lazy man's attitude. Are we lazy?" And I will say snarkily to myself, "Sometimes." And then I will slap myself and say, "Well, then that's not how you achieve your goals and become a successful person like Drewman." Like, ask yourself, what would Drew do? And now I think to myself, what would Drew do? What would Drew do? And darn it if I'm not right. Okay. So sometimes it's just about figuring out where the placement of things need to go. And since I am not a master at this yet, oh, see, like that kind of helps. Maybe if I'm trying to just stick with two colors when it comes to shadowing and highlighting. But for Joe, we might need to go darker. We might need to help with we might need to help with the shadowing. So if I do this to help with that, we're gonna give it a try. Let's just kinda see what happens. Yeah. Just to kinda showcase that the hair is moving around. It's just kind of like the art of deception. So this worked out much better, and I didn't have to redraw the hair. Win for Tab. This is what Drew would do, I believe. In Drew we trust. Oops. Every time I talk to Joe and we play games, I want to always quote that line in, Friends when Ross is babysitting his kid and he's trying to man him up a little bit because 'cause he's been playing with dolls, and he's like, "You'll never get me, Joe." And I have yet to do it because I don't know if Joe will get it, and I just, try to hold myself back. Um The creator of ours says she's the one who got me into art and writing as a kid and encouraged it growing up. She was also a black belt in Taekwondo and studied Kung Fu most of her life and biblical theology studies. Wow, can I be your mom when I grow up? Well, not like that sounded a little bit weird. But that is amazing. How long has she been doing Taekwondo, if I might ask? Was that something she'd been doing her whole life or did she start late? Curious minds want to know. Okay, whoops. So then since I did that over here, I must do it over here as well. Try to keep it simple, but sometimes you have to break the rules. It's just what it is. I know a lot of people are like, you can't really judge art. It's all subjective. Yes and no. Yes and no. There are fundamentals, there are rules about art that you kind of need to follow for proper whatever. At the end of the day, yeah, art is subjective and the rules can be bent and broken. But if you don't know your fundamentals, it's really difficult to break the rules properly and effectively. You can't just break the rules because, like, well, I'm an artist. Oh, one of the biggest cop outs. Well, it's messy for a reason. We'll just call it art, blah, 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 la, la, la. Let's just make fun of everybody's, you know, serious endeavors in life. It's like, no, there are rules that need to be followed. But once you know those rules, then you can break them to make it your own artistic flair. You know, there are rules. That's pretty cool. Although I don't know. This looks weird to me. Sometimes we don't have a name for the rule. Excuse me, it's just intrinsic. There's something wrong and we just gotta fix it. But that looks a lot better. Let's see what this looks like. I'm not really happy with the shape, but I just wanna see what the colors do for this. Yeah. I like the stronger edges. The rounded ones look kinda funny. The pointy edges. Yeah, that looks better. Much better. And I feel like this kinda needs a little bit, not much, but just to balance it. Excuse me. That being the case, then we clean this up because obviously that would be too harsh of a contrast. Maybe, yeah, something like that. That looks better. Look how much depth we've added to Joe's hair. Good morning, Mozamboni. Good morning. Sounds like a martial artist sounds like martial arts saying formless to form to formless. You must unlearn what you have learned. Yoda was way ahead of his time. Um, her whole life. Oh, okay. I was not that's amazing discipline. I was just more hoping that it was gonna be the story where it's like, yeah, she started when she's 45. She taught me for 15 years. Oh, yeah, own path. I always attributed art to cooking. You can play and mess around with it, but there are certain things that still have to be right or you'll just yeah, it's like that with anything, for real. Nomi says, "Tabitha's talent is making fun of people." It's true. You should hear the things I don't say to people. Um, hey, the real Steven TV. What's up? What's up? What's up? We are trying to color up Joe up here. There you are. I've been missing you. Look at that. What a nice profile picture. Everybody say good morning. Tabitha wanted hope. What? Tabitha wanted hope for a black belt. Yeah. Well, I'm not 45. I got time. Nothing wrong with being 45. I'm not 45. Being 45 is a wonderful privilege. Dear Lord, we're just like messing up all over the place. What is happening here? So, Nomi, what do you think? Does that look like Joe panicking? Because, Joe, when I'm with her, I always notice just how big and round Joe's eyes are. So that's what I was trying to, you know, go for. Feel like we've got a good Joe over on our hands. And Staccato has gifted 10 Dreaming Tabitha memberships. I know what he wants. He just wants to dance. Stomp, stomp, roar, roar. Let's dance like dinosaurs. Stomp, stomp, roar. Let's dance like dinosaurs. Is that what Joe's supposed to look like? Yay! I know everybody. We haven't heard the dinosaur song in a while. Ah, look, and just like that, she has decided that today is Friday. Today is Friday. You notice that I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be roguey. Are we allowed to call you that? That's so cute. What a cute name. Are we allowed to call you that? 'Cause that would be really cute. Um, thank you. By the way, I mean, if you're having a rough week, that's okay because it's now been, turned officially into Friday for at least this section of time on the internet. Um, DDS like, "Let's make it Friday."
Today is Friday. Today is Friday. And
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. But look, I am a big fan of, not, not giving people cute nixie nicknames unless I know you very well, but Rogie is a really cute name. Tabitha, 45, I still have time. Me at 44. Well, Mo, you better get cracking if you want that black belt before next year. Tabitha, there's not enough panic on Joe's face. I did the best that I could. Um, I did the best that I could. Yeah, but she you're right, though. I'm getting better with expressions, but you're right. There should be a lot more panic in this, but it is what it is. Alright, I'm just gonna call it like I see it because I think I forgot. I need to write it down and put it on a sticky note. It's Rogetta, right? Rogetta? Because it's a lovely name, however you pronounce it. I remember we were like, "Is it Rogita, Rogetta, Either way, it's really, really beautiful. Um, alright, what layer do I have this water drop on? Oh, here it is. Here we go. Do we need more sweat? Is that what I'm saying? By the way, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I know I'm just a weird person, artist, as many of them are on the internet, out here creating for whatever reason, we're out here creating little comic strips of, gaming time, and I'm loving it. It's actually so real talk, it's actually part of a much bigger picture that is hopefully coming soon. It's basically just really good practice for a bigger project, and, that's all I'm gonna say about it, but, I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy. Aw, thank you. That means a lot, okay? From, like I said, one person like, I don't really like, Nomi knows this. We had a long, deep conversation about nicknames, um, you know, and, we had to have a sit down, and there had to be a contract that was drawn up. Um, I was like, "Look, I was raised that my name is Tabitha, and, no other name. Now, we really didn't do nicknames per se, like shortening of names. That was forbidden in the house. But as we made friends, they wanted to give us nicknames. So then there's like, why is there a line going through my face? We'll figure it out. Um, that bothers me. What in the freakity doo dah? Is this no, I have to color all this over again? Dear God, it would help me. That is one thing about Procreate, or I don't know if it's or, coloring on the iPad is that when I pinch and do all this kinda stuff, it, um, it doesn't read it as the other hand versus the pencil, and so nonsense like this happens. Anyway, so, in order to call me by a nickname, it has number 1, I need to like you. Um, that's a big part. It's a type of formality, that's the way I grew up, where it was like, that is a type of informality, a type of intimacy, um, that is awarded to the chosen few, and so, Nomi and I had to have this sit down, and we're like, "Look, we gotta be friends for, like, 6 months, like, really good friends for, like, 6 months, and, and then I'll put your application in, and we'll see what the heads up, higher it up. I have to ask my mom, she has to get the approval, and so it's still pending. It's still pending, so, uh, that's just how it is, so if somebody allows me to call them because we have such strict standards in our home, um if somebody allows me to go ahead and call them, by some informal term of endearment or a nickname, it's quite exciting for someone like me who didn't grow up with the privilege that other people had for these, types of names and things like that. So, Rogie, I appreciate it from my heart, from a German household. Um, we appreciate it. So, no, I'll text my mom today and see if there's an approval met. She approved of Joe because Joe has been calling me, has been shortening my name, the unforgivable sin. She's been shortening my name, and that process went through really quickly. I'm not sure why yours take is taking longer because you've known me longer, but I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, and so we'll have to see. So thank you, Rogie. Um, yeah, yeah. No, he says, yeah, still waiting to see if Mama Dreaming is around. um Only time I've had a real nickname was Corbin Dallas in high school. Wow. That sounds like a cowboy or a superhero or something in the making. Like, that does that not ladies, does that not sound like some kind of, like, Harlequin romance dude's name? Like, Corbin his name was Corbin Dallas. He'd only been in town for a little while, but all the ladies knew that he meant business. I Gave you a nickname in 1991. Nice. Background check. Oh, yeah, yeah. You can't just call me whatever you want to. It's gotta go through a process, okay? It's gotta go through the process. You gotta be vetted, and, it's just how it is. Look, my mom always said, if she wanted to name me something else, she would have, but my name is Tabitha, and so it's just how it is. My mom is very involved in my life. Yes, you always need parental approval of friends. That's right, no matter how old you get. Um, Nomi's on the list. I don't know how long you'll be live, but I will be back after my meeting if you're still here. Today, Biggles, is the day where I'm gonna try to figure out how to draw your fairy character so in a way that I can teach you so that we can set up a day, all right, to teach you how to draw your character. Don't think I forgot. Don't think I forgot, because I didn't. Um, what in the flippity doodah? Alright, we're gonna go through the cleaning up process later. We'll clean up. Let's get Joe's outfit going. I collect nicknames like a hoarder for some reason. Yep. Thought I had a nickname for Mo too, but I don't remember what it was anymore. That Joe is such a troublemaker. She is, but somehow she made the list. Nomi's a troublemaker. I'm sure not really sure why my mom hasn't approved of her yet. My mom doesn't even know about Joe. Not really. She doesn't know all the things Joe's done in secret. If I get called by my first name, I'm in trouble with my wife, the government, or no, no. If I get called by my middle name, I think we all know that. If you get called by your like your first name and your middle name, it's over. Oh, it's Bruce Willis's character in The Fifth Element. Well, that makes sense. Bruce Willis could totally be a Corbin Dallas, although I still think a sci-fi cowboy named Corbin Dallas. Alright, if there's any authors out there, wait, like, make it happen. Oh, look at that. Non-negotiable. Okay. Okay. So, Mad Dog thinks he's, like, that automatically scratches you from my mom's list, I can already tell you. Forgotten man. Hi, Tabitha. I can't stay away. I can't stay, but I just wanted to stop by and say hi and have a great day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, be sure to hit the like button on your way out, friend. It just helps the channel. But thank you for popping in. I don't let anyone call me by my real name. My nickname is my true name. Some people just don't like their real name. She isn't an actual fairy, she's just a girl in a guild called Fairy Tale. Okay, well, I'll make sure I won't slap any wings on her. I'm gonna use her actual picture as the reference, and, your mom would have been friends with mine, I think, as my name is 'kay, hang on a second. My name is Theo Nuso do we pronounce the P or is it silent? Is it like pneumonia? Theonustos? Are you Greek? Because that's awesome. And she is adamant about my full name being said. So, interestingly enough, I say as we totally get away from coloring Joe here, um, you know, America, the melting pot, lots of immigrants. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, see, legal, and let me just we gotta step we gotta point that out. Anyway, legal, wonderful legal immigrants, um, that add so much to the country. But I remember about I don't remember, quite a few years ago, there was this young gal, and I want to say her family was either from the Congo or from Nigeria, and they were able to move here to the United States. And she had a very, unique name to the States, right? It wasn't your standard European name, right? It wasn't like it was Michelle or Edwina or something like that, which nobody would name their kid that at this day and age anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't one of these kinds of names. Is this too close? It's the same color. Okay, this is not good. Alright. Um and she wanted to change her name because she would get made fun of or because people could not say it properly, and her mom was, as most moms are, they're just wise beyond their years, and she couldn't understand why her daughter wanted to change her name. She's like, "It's a good name. It's a name to be proud of." And I'm 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 gonna do my best to pronounce it because when you come from other cultures as well, how you say the name, like the inflection and everything, is a big part of the name. But her name was Oma Maka, which I'm totally Americanizing that, but Oma Maka. That was her name. And she just didn't want it to be her name anymore, and her mom's just, like, telling her, "Why don't you want this to be your name? It's a good name. It's a name to be proud of. It's a strong name." And she's like, "The other kids can't say my name." She's like and this is so awesome. This is so awesome, where she said, excuse me, "If they can learn how to say Einstein" oh my gosh, hang on a sec. Soul Reaper, how are you? Coming into my chat, accusing me of things and showing that you need to go back to school, um, and maybe go to finishing school, and if you know what that is. Um, accusing me of wanting attention when you're the one coming into my of how could I forget? I remember a lot of people. I remember a lot of wayward and troubled people who need help from the Lord, as do I, many, many occasions. I would still request that you treat my chat very kindly, that you be respectful of other people's channels. Um, I'm not sure why you feel that this is the best way to get attention on the internet, because it's not good. You have to remember that your future employers, your future spouse, or whatever the case your future looks like, this kind of stuff reflects. So you might wanna be careful with what you put onto the internet because as we all know, the internet is forever. Um, and fine. You know what? We're not supposed to brag, but Soul Reaper, like, was it earlier this year or was it in October at some point? I got recognized by Kick so many times and being put on the front page that they actually gifted me $500. So I think when it comes to Kick, I'm doing okay. So, but that's just that I it's just what it is. So if you wanna play games like that, be careful because it's going to make you look silly. That's true. I only have 10 people watching on Kick, but I have a lot more over on YouTube, and that's okay, and it's not always about the numbers, sir, ma'am, whoever you are, but there's no need to be hateful, okay? There's no need to be hateful. So, you can say what you want to, just know that you're not making me look stupid. You're making yourself look like a deplorable, and so I would just highly encourage you to take a deep breath, maybe get some water, and reevaluate why you feel the need to come onto somebody's channel and tell them that they're a loser. It's not very nice. I know you know it's not nice, but I'm just saying, like, you don't we're we can all be friends here. There's no reason for you to be nasty. I've not done anything to you. Um, what is it Michael Jackson says? "Be the change you wanna see in the world," "Start with the man in the mirror," "We can all do this together." Have I been hydrated? Not nearly enough. Well, you know what, Soul Reaper, I respect you for that. I'll be honest with you. Go somewhere else and hate. I appreciate that. It means that you were listening to me, and I appreciate that. So anyway, to finish my story, Oma Maka and her mom looked at her and she had said, "If they can learn to say Einstein, and if they can learn to say Tchaikovsky," she said, "then they can learn to say Oma Maka." I thought that was such a beautiful story when it comes to diversity, when it comes to being proud of who you are and your heritage, all the things that make us, American. Um, you know what? It's hard being a kid, but man, when your mom puts it like that, it's wonderful. See, I never know where my mom is lurking. She could be here or any other stream, so I have to be on my best behavior. You should always be, right, Christina? Um, let's see. Well, my real name is my dad's name. I'm Apache, but she is a biblical studies major. It sounded very Greek, which is why Spaniard. Nice, nice, nice. God breathed. That's cool. Tabitha is a beautiful name that matches an Thanks. I try. Um, Soul Reaper, look, I understand, like, being silly and whatever, and I understand hazing and stuff like that, like, that's not new to me on the internet. Um, but, I welcome you in. I welcome you in if you just wanna hang out. It's there's no reason to be hateful, you know? We all gotta I think honestly, we all just need to step up our game on the niceness meter because if you I'm sure you've seen it out there where the world is just kind of falling apart. So if we could just learn to be nice to one another, that I don't know if that looks right, but it is her elbow joint, sort of, even though it's kind of so, you know, well, honestly, you'd be doing yourself a favor too, Soul Reaper. You'd be doing yourself a favor by not giving in to the peer pressure of internet culture. So, just throwing that out there. Just throw that out there. This bodysuit is kind of hard to shadow because, number 1, the impending doom that is, but also because it does have, like, these lights on it, but I noticed that even in the game and stuff, and I'm not a scientist that knows the understanding or has the understanding of how lights work. These particular lights don't really give off much, so that there's not a lot of the bounce light. The world just needs a chill pill. It does. Um, Soul Reaper, you silly. Um, you silly. I know you're serious because you did it in all bold caps. That's how I know that you're serious. Do, do, do. Alright. I found it way easier to color my character than I do with Joe's, but we're gonna give it the college try, you know? Do, do, do. Dun, 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 dun. dun, 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 dun. I don't know, it's kinda weird. If we fix our minds on whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is just and praiseworthy, there will be joy. Whatsoever things are lovely. How does that Bible song verse thing kinda go? Oldest trick in the book. I don't know, her shoes look kinda weird, but I kinda like it, and I'm trying not to get fixated on those particular details, but obviously they matter. It's like, does it help tell the story? Just realized I didn't eat breakfast. Shame, shame, Tabitha. Just a little bit of, is that a Pikachu in a Snorlax costume or a Snorlax eating a Pikachu in the background? This over here, yeah, it's a Pikachu in a Snorlax costume. I got it at one of the conventions I went to last year. Um, Snorlax being one of my favorite of the Pokemon, and the fact that Pikachu's I can't help it. I do love me. I'm like everybody else. I do love me a Pikachu. Although Squirtle is one of my favorites, and I don't have a single Squirtle in my home, which is terrible. I need to get like a Squirtle hat or a Squirtle shirt or something like that. Um, great. Now Indiana Jones theme is going to be in my head. Now, and John Godson has redeemed a water chug. Here we go. Let me take. Let me take this cactus off that was already off. That's a lot of water. Man, and it just sits there like a balloon in my stomach. Rogie says, by the way, Tabitha, I am 13 nationalities. We like to say in our family that we are Heinz 57 varieties. I nicknamed my German Shepherd Schmurtle because he has a personality. Schmurtle. That's so cute. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna give Joe too much attention with these dark shadows because they're not. I think it's also because it's like a patchwork thing. So, oh, I need to darken this up a little. Come and darken our door. Let's see. Is this a separate? Did I do this on it? Nope. I did. Oh, did that? No. Okay. Do I feel better? Not at the moment because all the water is just sitting like a bucket in a well in the middle of my stomach right now. I'm sure that I will feel better in a little bit. My dad used to be a runner, and he was always saying like it's not good to chug water. Like it's not like the kind of benefit you think it is, you know, but we still do it for the lulz. We do it for the kicks and the giggles. I know I was on Project Egg Roll's channel the other day and we were talking about a cake stream and I was making fun of him because I'm like, really? It took you 3 hours to eat what a hungry female could eat in half an hour? Like, you know, what kind of false nonsense are you spreading, Nomi? Tabitha ate eggs to make her tummy hurt? I love eggs. What are you talking about? False information, precious. All right. Okay, this is not bad. This is working out. I wonder if I should make all of this darker here. Um, I am fixated on that awesome exposed skeleton, Home Alone vibes. I love this. This is awesome. See the coloring that I did too with the red over here and then the brown or the black and then the grayish color. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. So this is almost done. So when we get Joe all colored properly, and then these things here, I'm probably gonna make the push neon too, maybe. I don't know. Um, I really wanted to stand out. I want it to be very obvious, which is the whole point of the joke. I want it to be, "What? What? Why are you yelling at me? What did I do? Did I say something? Why are you yelling at me?" Dreaming Tablet, I was thinking of getting one of your Chibi commissions. How specific are you on pose expression on requests versus leaving room for artistic liberty? I mean, I always request from my clients to allow for some creative liberty, but I just emailed my previous client like when we first um oh, you scared me, Nomi. I thought I said something inappropriate accidentally because my pure innocent mind that everybody thinks that I have just sometimes lets things slip out. I just saw my favorite coffee shop is giving free drinks until 1. I hate you so much. Anyway, um so I can also, if you want to, like, because it can be quite the conversation, but I know Biggles loud noises. It's Mando all over again. Um I'm very thorough, saying, okay, as far as questioning you and everything like that. Like, what do you want the post to look like? Do you have a reference? What is the facial expression? What is it you're looking for? And I'm very honest, I don't mind a challenge, but I will let you know what my strengths and my weaknesses are. I will let you know what I am capable of. And I I do a pretty good job. I've gotten pretty great at doing things, I will say. Just to toot not to toot my own horn, it was blood, sweat, and tears to get this far. But it also so I need to move. I've got to figure this out too. The link that I was using, and I need to change it in my description box for artistry. That was the thing that I was using so people could um look for it. Something has gone wrong with artistry. It's given me the 404 page, and they have I don't know. I don't know if they just don't get enough money or whatever to keep their website updated. But anyway, if you wanted to email me at dreamingtabitha at gmail.com, I can give you, you can let me know what you have in mind, and then I can give you the breakdown of the cost, what it includes, all of this, that, and the third, because I have done hand-drawn chibis before, or customizations, and then I do, of course, the digital design. So it's just up to you. This just so you guys like can see some of my work. This was my most recent commission. Well, actually, it's the second to last. So I just finished 2 commissions. This was one of them. Oh, let me get rid of Canalis's comment here. This is my most recent one. Our client gave me room for a lot of creative liberty, but I tried to follow what he wanted as much as possible. He wanted a futuristic knight, and the sword, he said that was the design that he wanted. I through everything. I do a quick sketch of like, okay, here is the rough idea of what I was looking for. What do you think? And then they let me know, could you change this? Could you not? And then with the background, it's like, okay, here's this idea, here's this idea. Once you approve of it, and then I lay down the colors, there's no going back once I lay down colors. Even digitally, because to redesign everything takes a lot of extra money, or money. It takes a lot of extra time. Apologize for that. Takes a lot of extra time, so there is additional fees, of course. But I'm very everybody of it. You can talk to anybody I've ever done commissions for. Um, I do my best to be very thorough to get there's a lot of stress that comes with doing commissions. So that's why I try to be as thorough and as professional as possible to give you an idea of you know, what you need. Here's another commission that I did for our lovely little Nomi without you. I did her little chibi character right there. I've done quite a few. I don't do custom emotes necessarily, but I do chibis, and you can always turn them into emotes if you want to. I was gonna do that, and it's just like, no, just stick with chibis. But several others that I have done. But you can see that my style has evolved and it's changed, and everything like that. It kind of just depends. Um, what exactly you're going through, and right now I'm doing this, but like I said, I've done the hand drawn as well, and, I love me some Chibis. Um, I mean, I'm here all day, every day. Oh, I guess I have a meeting at 11. That looks just like Joe. Good, good. That's the whole point. It's even funnier when you watch the stream that inspired it. Very, very true. Um, oh, have I done a Pokemon prompt? Yeah, actually, our we did. You mean for our pop-up art party on Friday? We have. Hello, welcome in there. Arisaka, the Dapper Goose. Hi, American. I am. Welcome in, Ryan. Stay with us. So I don't know how to pronounce this. Stay with us. I'm just gonna say stay with us. Good to see you over there. I can't for 10 since I got the stream derailed there. Thank you. Well, I honestly I think you just want to hear the we do love us a good dinosaur theme. Okay, let's finish up with Joe here. We have gone a little bit over our power hour here. So, whoops, that's the wrong color. What are we working on? Why are we having this color? Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, I see. Doo-doo-doo. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's always been little fun streams. I'm doing my best to go live every Tuesday morning. Um, oh my, look, we've done it. Not only have we gotten the haters on Kick, we have finally gotten the haters on YouTube. Ryan, thank you for pointing out that we here in America live in the greatest country in the world. I see you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. We've done it. We've done it. My wholesome channel that does nothing but try to promote positivity and practicality. We've done it. My channel where I tried not to be too controversial, even though I can be. Here we are. Here we are. We've made it. I'd like to thank my mother, um, who taught me that people are stupid. I'm not saying that Ryan's stupid. Please don't misunderstand. But my dad, who also told me that you just gotta suck it up, buttercup, and just, I like to thank big oil and tobacco for polluting the planet and harming lives, um, ruining them. I don't know if that works. That looks weird. When I start my channel, I'll give my story so all the channels I follow can get to know me. Yeah, of course. Ryan, I'd like to know what made you think that I was American and I wasn't Canadian. Not saying I'm Canadian, but like just what gave it away? What gave it away? What gave it away? Just curious. So entitled. Easy entitled. The thing is though, he is not wrong. He's not wrong. Um It's the accent. Ah, you're right, you're right, you're right. The thing is that Ryan here, our newfound friend, and Ryan, I'm just gonna pick on you. Like, I do. I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope that your life is filled with sunshine and roses. I know that it always won't be, but I hope that you find the strength to meet your goals and you stick to your whatever your motivation is. But anyway, he's not wrong that we as Americans have easy lives if we want to. Like, that's not to say that we don't go through heartbreaks. That's not to say that we don't struggle. Lots of people lose their jobs. Lots of people have a hard time um, feeding their families. A big part of that is with the economy and the whatnot. But when you we I said, look, right, like I agree with Ryan. Like I have said this numerous times. We as Americans, we need to stop crying and start being grateful for all of the stuff that we have. When you go to other countries, like as a person who has traveled to many, many places, and seen poverty, real poverty, okay? I'm talking the kind of poverty where the government won't take care of you. You're literally on the streets because you have nowhere else to be versus here where we have a Salvation Army like, within every, walking distance, okay? Um we need to learn to be grateful that we have it so easy being poor. Let me put it that way. So, while of course I don't take shade for people, when they, on being American. Proud to be American, will always be proud to be an American. This is a wonderful country, wonderful country. When you look at the principles of what this country is supposed to stand for, what being an American actually is versus what people have perverted it to be, you'll understand why a big group of America are proud to be American. However, these ungrateful little pieces of not nice words need to get their act together, get a real job, clean themselves up, and stop whining about problems that don't exist. So, Ryan, thank you for pointing out that we as Americans need to be grateful for what we have. We do. We need to be grateful. And you know what? Sometimes it takes other countries pointing out how easy we have it for us to realize, yeah. But the thing is too, Ryan, like a lot of Americans don't travel beyond America. Why would we? We have the cold, we have the mountains, we have the tropics, the beach, we have the desert, we have everything. So why is there the need to go to a different country is what a lot of people think. So which is sad because they're totally missing out on opportunities of going to really cool places. But that's just how it is. You don't have to do a passports and all this kind of stuff. I just recently found out that a lot of people don't in America don't have passports. Like, how do you not have a passport? It's like what everybody had growing up, but that's also because I'm a former military kid and we lived all over the place. So, um, we don't have an Amazon forest. Yes, but we do have Louisiana, Nomi, and I think that's close enough. I think that counts. Between Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, I think we got it. I think we got it. To the queen, the medal goes the queen of mean, wholesome art and storytelling. I try. I try. I try. I didn't say a boot. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't say a boot. Biggles, Biggles, don't ever let your passport expire, because that means that you've given up on going on adventures and going new places. Don't do it. Get that expire or that passport renewed. Totally worth it. The world is a big, wonderful place that has so much to offer us. Um, what do I think? Oh my. All right. Here we go. What do you think about the blacks still relying on entitled white men for running businesses and getting sources in America? I think it's time for every single individual in America to man up, step up, and stop waiting on other people to get the job done. That's what I think. It doesn't matter about skin color. I do know that there is a group of people that unfortunately have relied on their skin color to be a source of egregiousment. It's been a source of whatever the words you wanna be. At the end of the day, you will never get anywhere if you don't take care of business yourself. You know what? You can have all the free handouts that you want, that you can get. But at the end of the day, do you even have that wonderful sense of accomplishment, you know? Do you get that there's something beautiful as a human being when you're like, "I did that. I worked hard to get where I am," because nobody can take that away from you. When somebody gives you something as opposed to earning it, there's always this thing inside of you that's just like and we're made that way. God made us that way to be creatures of achievement. And it's a wonderful thing. Um, there's nothing wrong with people helping you, but when you're reliant on people helping you, and you never get anything accomplished for yourself because you let somebody else tell you that something's holding you back. Can we all agree that the best stories in the world, whether they're fictitious or if they're real stories, somebody coming from nothing and working their way up to something is beautiful. When I look at people like Dr. Ben Carson, and honestly, I don't care about his skin color, but because it is a source of topic these days, you look at the story of Dr. Ben Carson. Nothing. He came from nothing. That guy had nothing. But his mom made sure he read a lot. He read books. He went to school. It was a hardworking family. And he became, what is it, like the top person at John Hopkins, right? That's like top tier medical here in America. What an amazing story. Nobody gave that to him. That man earned it. And nobody can take that away from him. The history books can't take it away from him. Nobody ever can say, well, yeah, that just was given to you. Yeah, you just got that because of X, Y, and Z. No, man, that guy earned it. It's wonderful. And America, the thing is about the media too, America is full. Ah, this country was built off of people like Ben Carson that came from nothing, didn't let the struggle slow them down, and became amazing. We are a country full of these kinds of stories. Literally, our country was built off of that mindset. And kind of like Ryan was pointing out, I'm rewording it, but the idea is the same, is that we become entitled. We're like, we're Americans. We're first world country. Why should we have to suffer? Like, oh, my coffee is wrong. I get that gives me the right to yell at the barista because I forgot cinnamon in my soy latte. Shut up. There are literally women out there who have nothing and nobody, and except for like 3 kids, and maybe their husband died or they were prostituted as a young age in foreign countries, and they are selling fish in baskets on the side of the road. Okay, just shut up about your soy latte. Just shut up. Okay, there's no room for that here. shut, just shut up. I don't have a passport due to lack of funds growing up for travel and being my grandparents' caretaker. And when I planned to travel, my ceiling fell on me. Finally learned to walk again. There you go. Nothing. I'm never giving up. There you go. One of the greatest Americans to ever be quoted. Never give up. Never surrender. Mm. Jesus set the example to work as he was a carpenter. The sense of accomplishment is a wonderful feeling. And the pride, man, the pride. Our country has lost that because we're reliant, no matter what your skin color is, we're reliant on handouts. Handouts. Freaking Abraham Lincoln taught himself math. How he did that, I don't know. On the back of a shovel. Okay. And then he became a lawyer. And I know people will say, well, times have changed and blah, blah, blah. The principle is still the same. If you want it, if you work for it, you can achieve it. It's just that we're also in the microwave era where we want it now. We want success now. I find myself like that all the time. Look, and also as a Christian, or let me put it this way, also as a child of God, I have to remember that there is a time and a place, and that God knows what's best. If I'm willing to put the work in, if I'm willing to work, if I'm willing to want it badly enough, then God will show me what direction I need to go in, and I trust his promises for fulfillment. There's also a verse in the Bible, and I can never remember where it's at. I want to say it's in Psalms. It might be in Proverbs. It sounds more of like a Proverbs, but we've lost this in our country too, is that there is joy in the process, right? It's not just the finishing. Like we all love that too. There is beauty and there is joy in the process. And that's part of the accomplishment is just the process. So, hope that answers your question. Um, See you, Biggles. Enjoy your meeting. I busted my butt for 30 years in home construction to get my money, blood, sweat, into all worth. See, and our country is full of these stories, but they paint it like it's not. The media does paint our country like it's just this bunch. I mean, I get it, but they paint it like we're these mama. What do they call it? Mama boys, mama's boys, and we're just tying to the government's apron strings, and we do have a problem with that, but for the most part, it's a bunch of hard working out Americans that are just, you know, trying to live life, get by. I have learned, which is a difficult challenge, that if you sometimes, you gotta adapt or die. Sometimes you gotta break out of the box and be different from other people if you wanna see success too. And also, it does depend on who you surround yourself with. That's a biblical principle that doesn't get taught very often. And it's been hard for me to learn that as well. And that's not to say that everybody's bad. And I do think we've taken this whole people are toxic, get them out of my life thing. I think we've gotten that uh, out of balance as well. Like we're so easy to just be like, that person's no longer in my life. And we forget forgiveness is a thing. We forget that confrontation can lead to healing. Instead, we're just like, oh, we just snub that person because whatever. But there's a balance. There's a balance. I feel like Joe's character is not quite as dynamic as mine. I know it's part of it's the pose. There's something about the coloring that's missing from Joe. Maybe it's Oop, maybe it's the highlight. Yeah, my character has that too. So moments like this are why I really like this stream. You mean when we get political and all that? Hey, I try to keep it real. Okay, I try to keep it real. It's true though. Look, it's true. I'm an artist and life is difficult for artists because and this is not a pity party. It's a fact. Artists are underappreciated. They're undervalued. They've always been seen pretty much as something that's just a side hobby that's not important, doesn't bring any value to the world. When the complete opposite. Um, and then with social media and content creation, it's a very difficult job. Um, but you have to adapt or die. You have to learn. Number 1, you gotta grow thick skin. I mean, like, people are more than happy to tell you how awful your stuff is, and they're not quite as willing to tell you how great it is. And other thing is too, is that artists need a lot of validation, where it's like you could look at a project and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's nice. I like it." But it's like, "Oh, you're not feeding the artist's soul. You're not telling them, "Oh my gosh, I love the way that you did this." I'm telling you, every artist is waiting for that moment when somebody's like, "Hey, hey, you gotta just, like, expand. Tell me why." Like, a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you, like, 97% of the people are gonna look at my picture and be like, "That is so cool. I love it." Okay, but nobody's gonna be like, "Dude, I love how you did this. I love how you blurred the background." They're never gonna go into detail about why. They're never gonna pick up the nuances that you spent so much time trying to figure out. Most people are probably not even gonna notice the fact that I colored the outline of the skeleton different colors for a dramatic effect. Nobody's gonna care. And as an artist, you have to accept that. That's just that you know what? I listened to Young Ripa and I was just like, he's right. He's absolutely right. We as artists have to just remember that people are looking for content and product. They're not really very few people are looking for the creativity as far as appreciating the creativity. And so that's why streams like this are so wonderful that you come and you hang out. Um, you know, it means a lot. And you guys get to see this is a wonderful way, I will say with the use of internet and everything, this is a wonderful way for artists to really get to dive deep and explore with you guys and let you see what all it takes to create. Because most people have clue, no clue what goes into creating unless you step into that world yourself. Ryan says, "I'm with you on that. We gotta hustle and stop whining and expect." Thank you. Look, I think we're gonna make Ryan a dreamer. I think we're gonna make Ryan a dreamer. You're 100% correct, my friend. 100% correct. Again, there is nothing wrong with people helping you. There's a problem when you are reliant on people helping you. Because we all need help. I've had help. I've had what you might call a handout. I've been given a leg up. I've been given opportunities, but I don't rely on that. because they come so seldomly, and you've got to you gotta work, you gotta put the work in, and I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Life gets crazy and it's hard. There's no excuse. Again, I go back and I think about our foremothers, of America, and everything that they had to do with little technology that we like little to no technology. I mean, we had women getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, having 6 kids by the time they were 35. And they had a farm, they had to make butter, they had to make bread, they had to make the flour, they had to make everything by hand and have a happy life at the same time and raise their children and be a loving wife and go to church and this, that, and third. So it's like, what's my excuse? I do. Ryan's right. I live in the lap of luxury. I may not have the best of everything, but I'm super grateful for what I have and the people that I know. Dream streams are the best, says Rizkit Futta Biscuit. Hello, Grape, and good morning. Um, I noticed, but I'm an artist for a living. Yeah, yeah, artists get it. Please create it first. I'm not talking about you. Like, get out of here. Haley Horse. Hello, you're so pretty. Thank you. Do you mind if I ask what your ethnicity is? See, this one always gets me a little bit confused. Get a little bit confused on the whole ethnicity part. So, I mean, I'm American, but as far as bloodline goes, I am primarily I'm half German, if that counts. I'm full-blooded American, but I'm also half German. I hate really just being like, I'm white. How boring. Okay. I've got like everything in these veins. I've got some Native American in here. I have some French. Sorry. Got some French, got some Scottish, lots of German flowing in this. And one day, I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of a study or like a ancestral thing because I am kind of thinking I might have a little bit of Italian in me. If you start studying German history and how Rome conquered so many of these places, and considering where my family is from, I am inclined to believe that I might have a skosh, however that works with genes, of Italian in me. No, I don't like that. There, just the tips there. Okay. I am super happy with Joe. I don't think that'll work. Yeah, because her hair is covering the rest of it. Because Joe's got lots of hair. Let's just do this and see what happens, though. How are you, Haley? How are you? We all need a little help at points, but what we do from there is what counts. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, logical spark? That's not a very kind question. Um, I don't have as far as I know, as far as I know, I wasn't related at all to Hitler. I mean, there's like millions of Germans, and people only ever remember the one. Risk it for the biscuit. What's wrong with being French? Sacre bleu. What's wrong with okay, risk it. Okay, look, I'm surprised we could be friends given our heritages. Okay, like there's no everybody's coming for me. There's nothing wrong with being French, Tabitha. In honor of that part of your heritage, I will display their national. Exactly. Did you know that the French conquered the moon because that's their flag up there right now? If you look at the flag, um, it's the French flag. Oh, come on. Anybody who knows me knows I love a little bit of friendly prejudice. I do. Okay, I am happy with Joe. I think she fits into this world. Just gotten called word that work life. Thank you, Tabitha. Bye. I'll see you soon. See you, Rogie. Appreciate you being here. Everyone hates on the French until y'all eat our food. Okay, Cajun food and French fruit. I don't know if that's the same. I thought Hitler was supposed to be Austrian, not German. Well, he took over Austria, didn't he? I'll be honest, that part of the history I'm not familiar with. I do have a book about all of that, and I would like to read that, but um I know that there was kind of like this blurred He was born in Austria, yeah. He moved to Germany in 1913, served in the German army during World War I, and later became a German citizen. So you're right, he was see, there you go. So I have no ties to him whatsoever because he wasn't even German. He was Austrian. Um, you're pretty sure you're a descendant of Khan. Cool. Alright. So, let's get we are way over time. This brush hour turned in. So all we have to do is finish this. Well, let's do it. You know what? Why not? We're here. We're doing it. I'm gonna go on a separate layer. What layer are we on? 106 layers. You guys don't even understand. This is 106 layers. Cajun, I know Cajun is a spin-off of French, but wait until you try. I do love duck brisket. I'm telling you, one day we're gonna have one of these meetups and we're a tailgate. We're just gonna have to tailgate. I would love to try brisket's food. Scholar and a gentleman, that guy. All right, I wonder what would happen if we used our neon light here. Our neon light brush. Let's see, is it in the archives? No, because fortunately, I remember where it's at. Light pen. Here we go. Wonder what black looks like. Not cool. Uh, we should probably do it in green. That way it kind of matches the here. Let's okay. Oh, I know. All right. Layer number 106. We got to go to the rise to the top. Do, 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 do. All right. Ryan's asking even harder questions. What do I think about the LA anti-ice riots? I think a bunch of those creeps need to um look, here in America, you are allowed to protest. But this minute you start setting buildings and buses on fire. The minute you start causing havoc and making people fear for their lives to go outside, the minute you start throwing rocks over bridges at any kind of vehicle, the minute you throw your bicycle into oncoming traffic, you are, in my mind, labeled a domestic terrorist and your little butt needs to go to jail and you need to rot there or at least think about yourself, be put in a corner somewhere and think about what you've done for a very, very long, long time. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. There's no place for that. No place for that. We don't need another 2020. That should have never happened either. I wonder if that makes it hard to read. I think there's nobody more privileged in America than disgraceful, disgusting lunatics who think it's okay to send a message by violating other people's rights and also harming and endangering and, again, terrorizing other people. I wanna see all of them in prison. Obviously, let me back up here. I want justice to be served. I want them to have their rights read to them. I want them to go through due process of law, and if it turns out that you're guilty, I don't care who it is, then your butt goes to prison. That's how I see it. And if you're here illegally, I've said this before, I am sorry if you came here as a child and your parents made the intentional decision to not follow the law, then I'm sorry that you have to suffer in this way. But the law doesn't care about your feelings. The law is made to keep us safe, and there are ways to seek legal citizenship. I am the daughter of an immigrant, okay? Don't come at me with all your nasty whatever, whatever, okay? You do it legally. The other thing is too, is that I blame our people. I blame the people in the positions of power who abused it and did it for selfish means and are not being held accountable. Those people also should get due process of law and their butts they should be tarred and feathered for treason. That's what it is. It's treason. It's power hungry people just seeking more power, and I'm not okay with that. There are ways to come to this country legally. There's a reason we have these laws in place. And you know what? Again, as the daughter of an immigrant, I'm more than happy for you to become part of the greatest nation on earth. But I'm not okay with you abusing the system and then thinking that it's okay. And I'm not okay. I'm not okay with a bunch of politicians thinking that this was okay. They need to be held responsible because they are the ones. American citizens are the people that got us to where we are. American citizens are the reason we are suffering like this. Americans are the reason that we have all this anarchy in the streets. We need to fix that. And the problem is that we have a leader now who is trying to clean up decades of mess. I mean, it's no wonder the criminals think they can get away with everything because they've been allowed to believe that for decades. Still doesn't make it right. I mean, you can use 2 brain cells rubbed together and realize, "Hey, this isn't the right thing. We should be moral and stand up." But people don't do that. I agree with you, Ryan. I agree with the people. The other thing is too, we do live in a very cliquey day and age where people I'm not saying I have no proof that they're doing this, but there are people that just literally go to these things, put their life or their loved ones in danger just for the clicks, and that is a whole other level of deplorable. There used to be whipping posts in America. Actually, there was still one in Delaware not too long ago. It never got used. Well, it didn't get used for a long time, but it was still there, and it made a statement, and tar and feathering, I'll be honest, like, it's a bold statement to say that. That's very painful. It's very dramatic. I mean, there is that, but I'm okay with bringing back whipping posts. Okay, like, look, people don't respond to gentle parenting, okay? Like, that's just me. But here's the thing. We cannot I don't agree with bringing back these harsh measurements of punishment until we get our judicial system cleaned up, because then you're going to have a lot of problems where people who don't deserve these punishments we've had people that have died or have been sent to prison because the law didn't do its job. So we have to clean that up first, okay? As much as I wanna be all vengeful and like, "Yeah, get them out of my country, blah, 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 blah." No, 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 no. We Americans need to take responsibility, we need to clean up the judicial system, and we need to get those crazy, power-hungry, nonsensical judges and this whole lawyer situation. We need that all cleaned up before we even consider harsher means of punishment because in my opinion, and this is gonna sound weird after everything I just said, but the criminals don't deserve that kind of punishment if they're not guaranteed proper process of law. We can't expect more from criminals if we're not even, like, holding our own people to the same standard. Okay, that's hypocritical, it's nonsensical, doesn't make any sense. Criminals are gonna be criminals. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. But if we can't even hold the people in authority responsible for their actions, why are we like, I don't know. I'm not saying criminals don't deserve punishment, 100%, they do, but I just I think there's something wrong with being, like, biased, if that makes sense. Criminals aren't just the people that are blowing things up in the streets and whatever. They're also the same people who allowed those kinds of people into the country. They're well, maybe that's not a criminal activity technically, but it's an act of treason, which is even worse. So we gotta clean up our streets, if you will. We gotta clean up our government and our judicial system before I think we can even consider, "Hey, we need to bring back this. We need to do that." I'm all on board with it, but, you know, anyway, that's just my thought process. Tabitha's Tuesdays. Alright. Kinda looks like a battery, doesn't it? I don't know if that's the proper it's kind of a weird I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Well, let's finish this off here and see what it looks like. Thank you so much for everybody for hanging out and listening to my ramblings about Everything as the world turns and as the world burns. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, I don't mind that. This part, I wonder if I should just oh, that just darkens the whole thing. I don't know. This looks just kinda weird. I guess if I add the darkness, it really makes the push stand out. Well, or it doesn't. Hmm. Mhm. Maybe I should put it in neon green. I kinda like it, kinda don't. Let's just make it from corner to corner, from sea to shining sea. See, and that's part of that song, "And crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea." We've lost that aspect of brotherhood. We look at everybody, it's like, "Oh, you're this and you're this." We no longer really look at each other as fellow Americans, and that's a big problem. You know, we all just want California to burn, and they're getting their comeuppance, and yeah, they are, but at the same time, there's a lot of good people there, and even the bad people, it's like, these are our fellow Americans. These are our fellow countrymen. What happened? What happened, you know? They're our people, you know? Okay, maybe that's better. Maybe. I don't know, or maybe I should just have it go up and down. I'm really on the fence here. The blood, sweat, and tears we were talking about. I am gonna have to get going here in a second, but I we're so close to finishing this, like, assimilation is the key factor. Don't come over here trying to change us into a country you fled. Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Like, when my mom became an American citizen or when she came here, man, she you'll never find a prouder American than an immigrant who became an American. Man, my mom wore like, she loves 4th of July, and when we would go out and voting, the first time she's ever allowed to vote, we put on like, face paint, but, like, we put little stars and stripes and glitter and all this kinda stuff, like, she didn't come here trying to make America a German. My mom's a very proud American. Alright, so this is cool, and I like this, but the push does not stand out. So, let's see what we can do about that. I wonder if the glow is I wonder if the glow is part of the problem. Are you going to be doing anything more with Jay and the Achromatic Chronicles books? Maybe. Wait, what is it? What are the Saskas do? NDA. Yeah, maybe I should just need to outline this. We'll make it a little silly looking. I think it should just be I think it just needs to be actually, hang on. You know what? Let me get rid of this layer entirely. And then where are the letters? Where's the there you are. There my big there it is. Here we go. It's a little too bold. Um, so fine, keep your secrets. I will. I will. I'm only allowed to say so much. I can't help it. No, that doesn't look good either. What if we just, traditional white? Oh, Sons of the Pharaoh. Wow, that was. I feel like that takes away from Joe, though. Okay, and if it was black, it's probably not bold enough. Yeah, because of that line. Mhm. Okay, so what we're gonna do is duplicate, and we're gonna take this one, and we are going to make it green. Here's my thought process. Oh, it didn't do that. Okay. Oh, nope. Hang on. Why didn't it? All right, we're gonna get rid of this, and then okay, continue filling. Um, okay, we gotta get rid of this. Oh, grape, of course. It's heinousness. It's absolutely heinousness. It 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 makes me mad. It makes me mad. It's so disrespectful. It's so entitled. It's everything. It's like everybody says, imagine if we went to another country and did that. We would be flogged, man. Like, uh-oh. Hang on. Let me get rid of this. All right. I'm gonna put this back up. Do this. Oh, that's because it's on the wrong setting. So, uniform. Okay, now maybe we just oop, let's try this. And then let's try blurring it a little bit. Yeah. It could be the letters that I have. Maybe all right, so here's another thing. We are going to I just recently found out that you can add text. All right, push. Maybe because my letters aren't quite uniform, that could be the problem. So we're gonna drag this over here. I mean, maybe if I had it like I just think that oops. I think that having it big would be good. I think it's too on the nose if it's so we'll do this. Maybe it shouldn't be too big, but it's gotta be big enough where it's, like, part of the joke, you know what I'm saying? Do, do, do. Soul Reaper says if you gotta get into politics, you'd be perfect for it. I I don't know, man. That's a lot of work, I tell you what. Um, it's it easily gets frustrating. It definitely robs joy. I will agree, though, more Americans need to be involved, oops, in, in politics. I'm not saying, you gotta dive deep, but we need to know what's going on. That's the reason our country is the way it is, because nobody knows what's going on. We don't know the ins and outs of our own country, and we just let that go for too long. Alright, hang on. Okay, here we go. Let's try that looks pretty cool, but I wonder what if it's just maybe it needs to be outlined. What about impact? Uh, let's see. What does kerning mean? Oh, my. Okay. Well, let's try impact. Wow, that looks so weird sideways. No, that's bad. Bad, bad Tabitha. Um, hang on. All right. No. No, 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 no. I like the Jack Armstrong BB. I just wonder, what is baseline? Okay. I just maybe the green is just too strong. Oh, oh shoot. Hang on. Nope. Okay. Maybe the green overall is too strong. It might just need to be another. Thanks for the follow, Alexander 0802XD. Um, you got great speaking skills, and the way you hold a combo shows you've got shows that I'm so sorry, I can't even, well, see, I've just ruined your whole point, Soul Reaper. Tabitha, you gotta get into politics. You'd be perfect for it. You got great speaking skills, and the way you hold a combo shows you got the leadership energy. Tabitha 2028, man. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Soul Reaper. I really do. That's a compliment. Thank you very much. I try to. Oh, maybe I'm just looking at it too. Oh, I have to replace this then. Hang on. That means a lot. Thank you. Okay, so then I have to get rid of the other push. There we go. So then we go back to here, and then we no keep it the same size. All right, just okay. Sometimes let's see if we got it pretty close to the yeah. I feel like the green though is just like it ruins the balance. What a 180 nice what a 180 since Reaper entered the chat. Yeah. Wow. Sometimes you just gotta give people a chance. What is it that they used to say on all that? All we are saying is give peas a chance. Um, as far as your looks go, who do you favor more, your mother or your father? Depends on who you ask. Depends on who you ask. Um, I would say my mother. We had the same head shape. We have the same nose. Um, I think we have the same mouth, but I definitely got uh, the 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 promises of wrinkles from my father. um, and I got the hair from my father. Although my dad was blonde when he was little, and now he's a brunette, or he's been a brunette my whole life. But I have always had dark hair. I don't know. I look like my mom's sister. I get that a lot. Even when we would be in Germany, people would think that I was her daughter and not my mom's. Going back to Drew Strews and stuff, do you have any other artists that were big influences on your art or the way you think about it? No, not really. So the thing is that there are people that have influenced me and I didn't even realize it. I can't even say that Drew's stuff has influenced me um per se. I don't think you could see any of his stuff in my work. It's more of like I appreciated him. I appreciated him. I didn't necessarily um use him as somebody that I was influenced by. I'm sure that there's a part of it that influenced me. Let's try red, guys. Let's try red. I think it's just too bright. Yeah, let me go with the color scheme that's available. And then you can't really read it. Duh, we are in a pickle. So I can't honestly say that he was the influence of my life, or my work necessarily. It's just I remember it. I remember it making an impact on me. I don't really have a lot of artists that there's too many. I don't have really one. I know one of the things like who's your favorite artist? I don't have one. What artist influences you the most? I don't know. I don't even know half of their names. Like it's terrible. Okay, so I'm so bothered by the fact that this is not done yet. So here we go. We're gonna rasterize this. I'm gonna make this I'm gonna alpha lock it because we need to hurry up. We need to finish. Let's go. This was only supposed to be so long. Here we go. I hope Soul Reaper won't mind what I'm about to say, but on the note, what Risket was saying, there was a principle that we learned as kids, kind of like in Sunday school. There was a song that went around it. And I'm not saying that Soul Reaper was my enemy, but you could tell that, we had differences of opinions on how to respond to people. But there was a song that said, "Conquer your foes and turn them into friends. This is the remedy that the Bible recommends. Give back good for evil." And let's see, give back good for evil and never seek revenge. Love your enemies to death and turn them into friends. So sometimes I don't think all people are bad. I think some people just need to know that they're welcome in as they are. Like, you don't gotta put on pretense to, in fact, we wanna encourage, like, "Hey, you don't have to be like everybody else to be welcome around here. Like, come on, come on." And see, we have all seen how Soul Reaper is, in fact, a decent individual. Look at that. He is. I'm assuming he is. Um, as far as he goes, I'm assuming he's he, just by the style of conversation. Okay. Wonder if this should be black. See, you guys are on the struggle bus with me. You're probably like, just make a decision, Tabitha. It's like, I would love to, but you gotta test it out. Nah, I'm glad Soul Reaper's hanging out with us. Okay, that kind of looks cool. It's still really bright, but I think it's like when they ask you who's your favorite artist, is just reply God, because I look at all the beautiful things he's created. Yeah, I would, great, but then it does kind of, not that I necessarily mind, but it does kind of make me sound like one of those religious weirdos. uh it depends. Like, I try to read the room, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem telling them that God is my favorite artist, because of course he is. But when people are looking for the answer, they're usually looking for a human. You got to read the room. This the thing is, as the children of God, we also have to try to figure out how, like, I'm not preaching at you, grape. This is just another tangent in Tabitha's brain, where I've just kind of learned that you got to read the room. There is a time and a place to let people know that you're infatuated with Jesus. Um, that will be well received, versus just always, and I think it also depends. Well, it depends on the person. But again, I mean, you guys been around here. I have no problem talking about my Lord. Like, we have no problem with that. Um, we love us some Jesus around here. I wonder if something needs to be behind it. Oh, Mountain Butt for $4.99 says just a thanks for the stream. That's pretty close to $5.
Today is Friday. Today is Friday. And I am the one to be your favorite.
That's right. God has no favorites. Well, everybody's special, but some people are just his favorite. It's totally not true, but All right. Is there anything on this layer? I don't think so. I really like Leonid Afrimov's work. Love the way he uses bright colors and I probably would too, but I have no idea who that is. All right. So what we're gonna do is I don't know. I'm gonna try what am I doing? I don't know. My brain is just, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go to this. And maybe we'll shrink it down a little bit. We'll do a little shrinky dink. Is that okay? What if it was this color? Nope, that's not the right color. It's just, are you going to get the crew together for some sailing anytime soon? Yes. Nomi's a little bit out of town, and so are some of the others. So we've been just kind of waiting around. But yeah, let me change the arrow. Maybe that's also what's throwing me off. We do want to get to sailing. We were just literally talking about that. Like Nomi and I were talking about that like last night, I think it was. And it's like, oh, we should. We totally need to. Okay, I think we've done it. By Jove, I think we've done it. Where's the other one? Aha. We must rasterize. And then we must alpha lock. You can't really see it, which I think that we might have to change the color then for that. Maybe we need to brighten it up. Yeah, there we go. You still need to be able to see it, but it needs to be faded away. Now, let's see what happens when I take this off. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see. Let's play with the layer. Does it do any differently? No. And what if we... It's kind of funny, too. I tell you what. You probably are getting annoyed with all of the different decisions that I have to make. But again, I sorry. It's just, it's part of the process. All right. Oh, it's literally how it goes. In Albuquerque. Wait, did I do the right one? Hang on. Underneath. Okay. Let's just see what happens when we do this. Oh, it's okay. Maybe a little bit bolder. I've been working on getting better at ship battles. That's something I definitely have to work on, Riskit. Like, I haven't had very many opportunities. We tend to run away as soon as the enemy is upon us. And so I would like to have more chances to do that as well. But no, it's been a while since I've played Sea of Thieves. It's been a while since I've just sat down and played a game for funsies. I did get the Switch too, so I have been playing some Mario Kart, but it's not the same. I really would just want to sit down and play like Skyrim or something, but we were talking about like what Ryan was saying about the grind and the hustle. You gotta, there's nothing wrong with playing video games, but when I think about the things that I want to achieve and aspire to do, it's like I don't have time to play. I don't have time to waste video games. Okay. I like that, except for the H. I think that it needs just a little help from our friends over here. I think we're nearing the end. Yes, Queen. There we go. Okay. Yes. I think that it stands out without being too obvious. The green was just way too harsh on the eyes. Figured out if you can get some holes in the opponent's ship to get them into repairs, then drop the mast with chain shot. Oh, risk it over their face. I like the fact that the game makes you think and process that. But guys, obviously I got to clean up a couple of things because we saw there's like a couple of spots and flecks in random places. But I think, guys, we finished. So that means that, hang on, layer number 113. Dear God, 113. Let's see. That's not a good brush to use. How about tactical pen? Yeah. Ooh, nice. It looks amazing. Thank you. All right. What if we aim for like a blue color here? We put our Dreaming Tabitha Signoroni on that. I'll probably change it. Oh, actually, you know, that's the cool part about digital as well. You just raise it up for kicks and giggles to kind of fit in there. Yeah, there we go. We finished it. For the most part, you know, like I said, probably gonna go in and clean things up. But oh my gosh, I do think that Joe looks a little bit more cocoa-y than she is in life. So who knows? Maybe I'll change that. I don't know. But overall, I love it. I think I will get this printed into a poster. Oh, well, I have to put the words on it. Like, but as far as the painting process goes, I think we finished it. Thank you, everybody, all the dreamers in the chat for this wonderful Brush Hour dream stream. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for supporting the channel in all the different ways. And by that, I mean the super chats. I mean the conversation. I mean the likes and the subscribes, the scribbles. Thank you so much for just supporting the channel. Now, I don't know if anybody is interested. I've had a couple of people mention that they like my little comic strips that are based off of my gameplay with my friends. I don't know if anybody's interested in that. I can make them into little stickers and things like that and have them available, or I can have prints. I don't want to really put them out there if there's not too many interest in it, but I mean, let me know. You let me know if you're interested in it. You can always put it in the comment section of this video whenever it's done, if you take time to think about it, or you want to come back, or whatever the case might be, or wherever you find me on social media, whether it's, you know, Kick, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You can leave a comment and let me know. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for your support, your hanging out, and your engaging conversation, and also for your ideas. Look for, I don't know if I'll go live as far as drawing sessions anymore this week, except for Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're having a pop-up art party, and going to take some requests as to what the theme should be. And great, you might be onto there, something. But what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, but you know, I'll probably be gaming this week at some point, Dreaming Tabitha over there on Kick, Dreaming_Tabitha. But also, I have my new gaming YouTube channel here on YouTube. If you're not a big fan of Kick, and in fact, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly put that in here. We've already reached over 20 subscribers. We just launched it, so super excited about that. But here, I'm going to put it here. And it's in the pinned comment over on Kick, but I'm just going to paste it here in case you have a hard time with that. And I will see you around the sun at some point this week again. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate all of you.
Oh no! Oh, it's so good! You're gonna have to try this.